Hello and welcome back to the GorillaBiker. Today what we're going to be doing is fitting these Strada 7 racing clip-ons to the gsxr, which is right there. I'll show you in a second. I've actually already done the left-hand side one because I like to make sure that I actually have a sense of what I'm doing in my head before I try to show you all. So this will include obviously taking everything off the old clip-on as much as I can show you, and putting on the new clip-on and reassembling everything, including drilling the little hole to locate stuff. I do have 2 spare bars as well with these, so I'm going to be drilling them too, just to have them ready basically with me on the track day in case I do happen to have another little boo-boo and need to fix it. So if you want to see that, do stay tuned. But first I'm just going to run you through what I've done on the left hand side and little watch outs for you if you're doing your bike or a gsxr like this. So this is the pretty much completed side. As you can see, I've basically extended my bar out. I've used that a lot. I can slide this in and out easy enough. Everything is back functionado as well, which is nice, and everything's wired back in. So why am I putting these on? 2 reasons basically. Number 1 is obviously you want to be able to swap these things out quickly on a track day. So that was a large part of it, and also for clearance on my brake master cylinder. I think these will give me just enough. I also have little steering bump stops coming in the post, which was recommended by Wigglesticks TV. Go give him a look. I'll put a link down in the description. Wigglesticks has his own gsxr 750s as well, so his comments seem to have gotten deleted. I'm not really sure what happened. Wigglesticks, if you're watching this, thank you very much for the tip. I wouldn't have found those steering bump stops without you. So they're on the way. They're nice, simple, little kind of like, you could probably make them. Just zip ties, cable ties, and little rubber bump stops. So essentially all I did was unscrewed my fork and slid it down to get out the old one, because the old ones slide off. They're not, these actually like open off, so they're also easier to take off. And I did measure obviously my little gap here beforehand to put it back to the same, so I'll be doing the same on the right hand side when I do that, just to make sure that everything lines back up nicely. And that's it really. So basically all you have to do is take off your front wheel. So I'll show you. That was my special camera movement noise. So the front wheel is off, and that is just to give us basically the ability to drop down the forks. Don't ask me why there's a bicycle helmet there. I'm really not sure. But yeah, so essentially all you want to do is take off your front wheel so that you can actually just drop away the forks pretty easily. But that's kind of it. It's not really a difficult job. It's just kind of slightly time consuming. Yeah, anyway, first things first, what we're going to do is loosen off all of the connections, hooking this stuff onto the handlebar, because it's easier just to take them all off while they're in situ. So first things first, we're just going to break off the master cylinder and also the brake fluid reservoir, which I'll have to probably make a new bracket for as well, because I cut the old one before I changed these. I wish I'd known in advance, but that is how life goes sometimes. Anyways, first things first, we're just going to break off the reservoir. These are all 8s. This is a Brembo RCS19. If you didn't see that video, you can go have a look at that if you like. Okay, that seems to be balanced pretty well there on the throttle cable, so we won't interfere. We'll leave it right there. Then you want to take off, there's a couple of screws holding on this onto this. So a couple of things. The bar ends that come on the stock gsxr handlebars, they're only in there with like a screwdriver head bolt, which is really flimsy and wanted to shear as soon as I touched it. So I'll just show you. I think I have one here. So here's the good one, and this is the little bolt head that's inside it. And I had to drill the one on the left hand side. I had to actually drill the head off to get the bar end off. So just be careful of them. They're a bit of a pain. They're easy to get out anyway, just to slide everything off. But yeah, just watch them. They're a little annoying. also a little 10 nut that locates just under here, and essentially that has to come off too, so that you can actually release underneath. Release underneath. I say it like that makes any sense whatsoever. So that you can release the handlebar. Release underneath. Sometimes I worry about myself. That will let us rotate this like that. I don't know if I have enough space there. No, I won't. So I'll have to drop everything. And when I drop this down, I can slide this off and just basically move all this stuff in to get this off. So I'll show you as we do it basically. These lower triple bolts are a bit of a pain to get to though. Okay, so just make sure you can see that. So once you have this slipped off, you can just move that in, hopefully, and slide completely out of the assembly, like so. Yay! So now what we're going to do is something else. So on this guy right here, see this little hole? This one right here? This corresponds to a little tab that's actually in right there. 1 second, yeah, right there. Right, that little tab wants to sit in here just to stop things rolling around. Now, there are ways to do this. The way I do it, I will show you. So like I said, one of the reasons that I do this is I want to keep everything the same. So all I do is I measure from the end of the bar to the center of the hole, which is 168. Right, so if I put my new hole in the same place, it means that everything will be the same length from the end of the bar, and I'll get my extra space up here, which is what I want. So 168 is where we're gonna drill the hole on our new bar to for this one. Okay, so then what we want to do is go in we'll set this to 168, okay, like that. Tighten it in, and then all I'm gonna do is just a little score mark. I don't really like using these, but it's aluminium, this is steel, so it should be fine. Best practice, if you're gonna do it, try and make a little mark and then obviously score it differently. Now, again, this is a bit of a bodge job because I literally can't find any of my tools, but I want to finish this tonight. So I'm using something that's not a pilot hole tap, but it'll do. Just to put it out there, this is like cowboy stuff. I do not recommend doing what I just did. I also don't have aluminium drill bits. I have steel drill bits, but you know, again, I'm just working what I got basically. And I could have measured the diameter of this hole, or I could just basically find a drill bit that fits in nicely, so I know this is the right size. It's pretty straightforward that way. And there is our hole. Focus. Not the cleanest thing in the world. I'm not going to say I'm like super proud of it or anything, but it'll do the job today. Like really, if you want to do this, have the right tools. But at the same time, it's a track bike. It's, you know, it's rough and ready by nature. So then what we're going to do is just slide this. Well, first I'm going to put a bit of grease. Do I need grease? I'm going to put a bit of grease on here because this is where this rolls on. So it's better to have a bit of grease on it. That is located back where it should be. It's just a case of basically fitting everything else together. So first things first, what I need to do is slide back up the fork and pin that in place where it should be. And then we can go around doing everything else basically, getting everything right. So just double check my measurement off over here. 15.2. Okay, so that is back to the height it should be. So it's just a case of putting a light pinch on the top bolt. That's the important one to pinch in place anyway. And now that that's kind of pinched there, you can walk away without worrying too much about knocking at them loose. So then this is our Strada 7 clamp, which is actually quite pretty. And again, like you can just slap this on and off the fork and it just bolts in place like that. So nice piece of kit, I'm quite pleased with it. So just to show you what I'm lining up here, these Strada 7 racing bars also have little numerical indicators kind of telling you how far along you are, and what I'm aiming for is just have 2 outside the clamp. So 1 second, because I got a spare clamp, so I'll show you. So basically where I'm going is to, come on camera, I'm having it around about there, which gives me enough to pinch on the far side, but also gives me lots and lots of extension, which is what I'm looking for. So now that everything's kind of tightened up, I'm gonna have to move that anyway, but just to see, there you go, I have my clearance. So the main job of these bars was to give me the clearance between my master cylinder and my clocks, and they've done that, so I'm absolutely delighted. Now obviously I think I will have to adjust that a little bit, but overall I'm very happy with that already. Now obviously I have to figure out somewhere to mount my brake master cylinder reservoir, so I'll figure that out. So another very important thing is do not forget to tighten everything back up. So tighten back up your fork clamp bolts. Tighten them back up. That's really, really important. Do not forget to go away and tighten them up. Your pinch bolts. So make sure all your pinch bolts are tightened up, because if you don't tighten them up, you're gonna have a bad day, and we don't want that. Here on the GorillaBiker channel, we want everyone to have a good day. That's important for me. You all have good days. Anyway, I'll tighten everything back up and I'll come back to you. And we're done. So what I did was, this piece got into the end of the bar end. I'm not sure, can you see that? 1 sec. So you can kind of see there, the end of the bar end, there's a little bolt. So what I did was, I'll just get one of the other bars. 1 second. Yeah. So this bar here, as you can see, has like these little plastic ends. You can pop them out, okay? So what I did was, your standard rubber bar end, it's basically like a little expansion bolt. I'll actually show you, 1 sec. So this here is your standard expansion bar end, say. You know, you loosen it X amount and then you pull it out. Huh. Maybe it needs a little bit more loosening. Okay, so this is your kind of standard expansion bar end. You have a nut here which pulls through onto this rubber bush with a bolt here, and basically what it does is it expands this rubber. Hey, focus. It expands that rubber piece there, and then seals it inside the bar. So I don't know, I'm even going to stick with these bar ends, but what I did was essentially made this piece here into the other end of the bar end for my bracket. So I'll try to explain that better. So what I did was I made my own little custom bracket, just sized to get this kind of sitting nicely and clear of everything. So that's why I did it that way. And I used the original little mounting bolt that came with it here. So it's all rubber and damped. And then I just put the other bar end in this side of my bar, through my little bracket I made up. And yeah, that's all I did. What did I use? So I cut like sheet like this. So this is just aluminium, or aluminum if you're American. Or we also call you wrong, as you know, it's aluminium. I joke before anyone murders me. I know everyone calls everything differently. I really don't care how you pronounce your words. It doesn't make a difference to me. But anyway, I cut a piece of this that fitted a bit better than this. This was just kind of to test shapes. I painted it black and stuck it on there. And the thing about it is you will pretty much never see it, because it's kind of just well hidden. Everything kind of covers it. It's not, I'm not gonna lie, it's not the prettiest thing in the world. I'll try to show you there. But it works, which is all I really wanted it to do. So there you go. We have new they're Strada 7 clip-ons. Everything is working, and it just means that this bit here I can now change. So just to show you, okay, once again, this is the clamp. It clamps around your bar, and I got an extra one by accident, like I said earlier in the video. And it just means now that if I crash again, I can just change out the bar. You get it. So I just slide out the bar, slide everything, slide all this stuff back onto the bar, and I'm good to go again, or on the other side. So I have 2 of these spare bars, and what I'm going to do is just pre-drill them again using my original ones, measuring from the end, drill them, bring them to track days with me, and I should be good to go. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it helped a little bit if you were trying to decide, do you need clip-ons? I don't know, do you need them? It's just kind of a case that they're handy to have, because if you go down on the track and you bend your bar or whatever else, it's a lot easier. Just literally loosen off 2 bolts, slip out that bar, slip everything back on, job done. So that's why I did it. It's kind of a just in case. You notice Ireland has finally gone cold again. I actually have a jumper on for the first time in a long time. But yeah, I'm kind of happy with them. Strada 7 Racing or Misano imports in the north of Ireland. I ordered them off then because they were just a little bit cheaper than I ordered them off other places, and they were coming from Ireland, which means they're just going to be here a little bit quicker. There were some complications that delayed them. I was hoping they'd be here sooner, but all's well that ends well. You know, I got the parts I needed. They got here on time for my next track day, and everything fitted up nicely. So if you've any questions on how I did any of the rest of it, please do let me know. But look, like I said, yeah, I didn't use the correct drill bit and all that before anyone goes crazy at me for you know, drilling the bars like that, but it worked. It's messy. It's a track bike. Oh, I shouldn't have said that out loud. It's not a track bike, it's a track and road bike. But anyway, it's to be used for both. And that allows me to use it for both. It gave me the clearance for my brake master cylinder, and so on. So, are they better than the stock handlebars? Technically, no. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the stock handlebars. They're just... It's purely for the interchangeability, and I needed to just move my gear out that little bit more to get the clearance that I was looking for. So, like I said, everything kind of worked out for me. I didn't have to do anything major. I did have to take one wire out of a clip because it was tight to the frame. I just took that wire out of the clip, so that's kind of, there's a little bit more slack on that now. I'll tighten that up. I'll tidy that up with the cable tie or something. It's fine. But really and truly, if you're looking to do this change on your SRAD, it's very, very straightforward, very easy. Really not a huge amount to it. So yeah, I won't hold you any longer. If you've watched, thank you very much for watching. As always, a massive thank you to all of my patrons. I really do appreciate your support. It helps me keep making these videos even when some days I don't feel like it. Which is nice. It's nice to have that backup. Just like, yeah, go do it and stuff. And yeah, thanks to Misano Moto Imports or Misano Motor, I don't know, Strada 7 Racing. If you Google them, you'll find them. Thanks to them for getting me most of the bits I needed pretty quick, even though you were under the weather, so I do appreciate that. And yeah, until next time, thanks again for watching. Adios. Outro crew. Oh, I'm really busy, so I still have to service my own bike, the beautiful Suzuki. And then my uncle also bought a track bike, so if you've met me up at the track, you'll know my uncle's there too. He bought this, which is absolutely goddamn magnificent, and I'm only moderately jealous. I'm extremely jealous. I'm so jealous. It's a GSX-R 750 as well, 2012 model, and it's beautiful. Yeah. And then some people might recognize this beastie. I also have this in to give it a bit of care, and this is Kawasaki. So this is with me to just get some brake work done, because these are not good brakes. They even feel spongy. So yeah, we're going to do that as well, and that's it. Okay, thanks outro crew. Bye.